Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit, because he was fucking useless.
And episode 10. Double figures.
Fuck me, 10.
Double figures. So a lot to talk about tonight. We've got plenty.
I've got a special feature.
It's got a special feature. We've got the quiz. We've got Housewives favourite Sam.
Sam's back, Housewives
Morning.
And local press monkey, Toby Locke.
Hi everybody.
Is here. Need to enlighten you as to Toby's MK Dons history, because many of you won't know, but Toby was actually a fan long before he was a scribe.
I didn't know that.
Yes. In fact, aren't you? You're in one of the photos, aren't you? There were famous.
Yeah, underneath the scoreboard at Stockport.
Yeah, the day we got promoted.
Really, we got promoted?
Yeah, he's in it. So if you need evidence that Toby actually went to games,
Yeah, I'm
before,
not just a master of the nonsense talk that I normally sport.
Master of the gifts.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like that.
Gifts
I like
and trying to be funny.
Yeah, my special feature is I'm going to slag off every player.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it geographically. So I'm going to start in Scotland and work on my way down to Devon.
Right. Well, that's.
So I'm going to start with Peter Pollitt.
Right.
It's absolutely shit. Right, carry on.
Right. So we might as well start with
Peter Pollitt.
I really enjoyed my job.
I can cut this bit.
I don't think you should.
or not. Let's start with Berry then. So it was 4-3. We were 3-1 up, and we lost. It was one of the best games of football in terms of quality that I've ever seen, and that's no exaggeration. In fact, a Berry fan came onto the concrete roundabout and said it was, in his 53 years of watching games at Gig Lane, was the best game he's ever seen there. So, and then someone was like, lots of comments. Thanks for that, mate. Nice one. Yeah. And then someone come and said, what sort of shit have you been watching?
To be fair, I've seen some trash at Gig Lane down the years. Absolute
It
rubbish.
did seem a bit extreme to say that was a base. Well, that wasn't.
They were just waiting for Nicky Maynard to come along and give him the goods.
Yeah. Oh, you reckon he got head on that, didn't you?
Definitely.
Or a touch of afro.
Definitely,
Were you there?
Yeah.
Right, I know you were there because I heard you on the wireless.
Yeah. No, I don't think I saw their winning goal. No, I didn't see their winning goal, did I?
I'm convinced, and he put on Instagram a couple of days later that he was claiming.
I mean, he ran away like he
Who did?
scored
Nicky
it.
Maynard?
Yeah.
I hadn't phoned him.
I'm not so sure, but no one else seems to think. So it was very good game. We went 1-0 up. Did we go 2-0 up? No, we didn't, did we?
No.
I wasn't in the area. We were away. Managed to come in. We were coming back along that Bedford bypass.
Yeah.
And we were listening to Dab. 3 Counties on Dab.
Yeah.
Jeez, we were listening to any other commentary.
Well, that was fucking Luton or something, wasn't it?
Shit, Brett, it was really poor. And I almost tried to make you feel better, mate, but God, it was appalling.
Yeah. So
What are you looking at?
their first our first goal, surprisingly bad defending by Berry, but we did throw 3 men into the box from the edge of the area, so always difficult to defend against. And as the man himself crossed the ball in, JMT met it like a salmon rising from
It's good dog.
something or other,
Should remember that.
and in it went. So then we had the penalty. The first
Yeah,
penalty.
we were away.
Now,
Like I
funnily
say-
enough, Tobes, what do you reckon? So I am convinced that the first one was soft and the second one was a clear pen, but every other single Dons fan I've spoken to disagrees with me.
Including me.
I think it's the other way around. I think the first one was an absolute gimme, second one was soft. First one, he's had quick feet and then he's had his legs swiped away. It's absolutely stonewall.
Yeah, he did.
So one thing you can agree is that your view is fucking pointless. Really.
Yeah, but we have to remember that we can both be right.
Yeah, you can be.
Especially when I'm wrong.
On the, saying that you were there, so it gives you a little bit of credibility. But on the,
And it was in front of you as well, wasn't it?
It was right in
on
front of
the
me. I was
YouTube
there.
replay,
I was there, yeah.
the YouTube replay, it's like the camera pans around very quickly when I think it was Houghton who gave away the second one. And you can't really see what happened. It's obviously margin, but I don't see what happened. But the first one, I can't remember who it was, but the first one for me is he's done him. He's left a leg out and he's gone over, and that's a penalty every day
The
of the week.
second one, it just looked to me like he'd gone past Joe, and Joe then put his arms around him. And what are you going to do other than
You can't do that now, can you?
Yeah, like I say, we were away, so we came back, and as we were coming into Bedford, you can pick it up there, can't you? And we put it on just as it said, quite literally, as Gio Shea kicked it, and old matey saved it.
Yeah, it
So
was
you
a
think,
great
oh,
save.
brilliant. So I was
Great
quite pleased. And
Yeah.
we came home, I thought, I'll nip up and do the chickens. So did the chickens, came back, we were then 3-1 up. I thought, oh, done. I'll sit down. I'll have a quick drink. Sit down. 17 minutes later, we fucking lost. It was appalling. I was a bit cross, to be quite honest.
Yeah. So then it was the second goal. Second goal was
Louis,
where again defending by Berry was bizarre. Just they know what he's going to do, and Louis must know. Louis played enough games with him to know what he's capable
forgot
of.
all about it. He was manager, to be quite honest.
And he's absolutely gagging for a goal, which he's now got, which is great.
He's happy.
And then they got the second penalty, which Joe Shea put the other side. Decent penalty. And half time came and went. Great game. I thought the referee done really well, because they're the sort of penalties that the referee could not have given, and he would have got away with it. No one would have said, you're cheating or you're an idiot or whatever.
Especially awarding the second one. Like you'd imagine that given a second penalty is really it's quite a rare thing for a ref to give a second pen within 20 minutes of the first one.
Yeah, it doesn't say what referees can say what they like about being fair and so on, but there is a certain amount of human nature comes in there about giving that second pen. But I thought he's the best referee I've seen this season by some distance. And we always say on this show, what do we say? If you don't notice the ref during the game,
you've had a good game.
Even when he's given 2 penalties.
Well, they're good. Well, they're a good team.
Very good.
Yeah.
Really? Well, they've got to be the third or the second, haven't they? Which is a bit even.
They were. That was just such a good game of football. It really was. If you're a neutral looking for a day out, you probably wouldn't choose Bury, if I'm honest. But
why, Tony? Why?
If you were within a 300-metre radius of Gig Lane, and
you'd still pick the Rochdale.
Yeah, you had 20 quid burning a hole in your pocket, thinking, what can I do this afternoon? I don't know, let's go and watch second, play third. You'd have been very happy walking out of there, very happy indeed, without a doubt, because that was.
So what do you reckon the problem is then? Is it mental?
Well,
badness, or just
we did have a chat about this.
This is rubbish
for me, the thing I don't get is how, saying earlier, the beginning of the season we were winning 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 1-0, and it got to the point where we went 1-0 up, and I just didn't see us losing. I thought we were so solid at the back. And I don't know what I don't know whether it's I don't know, but now we're a little bit. We just. I wouldn't say it's anything particular. I wouldn't say we're playing badly or anything like that. I'm just thinking we're just conceding goals. That's all it is, and I think it's just a blip. And I think, we were saying all this stuff, and all of a sudden we beat Cambridge 6-0, and everything's back to normal.
I think there's almost an overconfidence in that you think, okay, well they can go out and get goals, and attack is the best form of defence, such is the cliche. But if you're 3-1 up, don't go out chasing a fourth goal.
If you're 3-1 up with 17 minutes to go, and you lose 4-3, there's a problem.
Well, to be fair, if you're 3-1 up with 17 minutes to go, it is quite difficult to lose.
That is, yeah, that's not an easy. Well, no, it's not, Toby. You can laugh, but it's not an easy.
No, it's not.
Job,
No, absolutely. That's really tough to do.
From your point of view, being there,
we
went 3-1 up in the 53rd minute. They scored.
That was a surprise.
They
to be
scored
honest.
their second in the 72nd minute. So there's a good 20 minutes there.
Yeah.
So did we look like we were going out for a fourth, or did we look like
neither team changed their style of play.
So we didn't go more attacking, we didn't go more defensive. We just played as it.
Continued to play the way they were playing, and I think that was at that stage. You hold the ball, you pass it around, you kill any momentum that Bury have, and you just suck every ounce of enthusiasm out of the game, and you just kill it.
So do you not think that Tiz at that point would have been right? We're 3-1 up now, playing exactly how we are. So why change it? If we're playing that well, why would you change it when we were? I don't know. Were we cruising? I don't know. Were we?
No, as I say, when we I don't know what Toby thinks, but when we went 3-1 up, that was a bit of a surprise to me because it looked more likely that it would go.
It was an own goal, wasn't it?
It looked more likely it would go 2-2 than 3-1.
Oh, really?
But yeah, great diving.
Like I say, I had chickens to consider.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got to look after them. I was a little bit surprised, but obviously very happy. And I thought, well, a bit like at Lincoln when the second goal went in, but it was disallowed, and then we ended up losing. I know it's slightly different because the goal was disallowed, but at that point you were thinking, that's us done now. That's pretty much it. So I did see Tiz. I don't know who put this. I don't know if it was you or someone else said that Tiz says he's got a hunch, but he doesn't know. He doesn't want to tell the media what his hunch is, but he's got a hunch that he knows what the problem is, and he sees it as a positive in that we've been ahead in that many games and then drawn or lost. The fact that we were winning is a positive, which I suppose is true. Yeah. It really it is.
Well, when you consider we were this time last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that we're going to be worrying about it too much. I know the players generally, as I've always said, when the game is over, that's pretty much it. It's on to the next one. That's all they're thinking about is the next one. The next game is the most important one. They probably... I mean, I've been in the change room on a Monday morning and the players haven't mentioned a single word, win, lose or draw, about the previous Saturday. So they're really not that focused on what's just happened. Plus they've had a day to think about it and they'll have watched the videos and seen where things went wrong, and they'll discuss that before training on a Monday to see that...
He must have been really pissed off.
Well, because it's not like it's
he just
a recent event, is it?
No.
Northampton, Lincoln earlier in the season, and so we think it's 17 points that we've lost from winning
Really,
positions.
17?
17.
I mean,
Sam thinks 15, but either way, 15 or
I've
17.
17. You'd be walking away with it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And
With
this
it,
is in the last, I think,
Jesus.
I've worked out from the last 15, 20 minutes of games.
That's
From
a
winning
proof
positions
ton
to chucking it away or
Who can we
picking
blame
up
for
points.
that, Tony? Let's pick on someone.
This is it. I can't...
Let's pick a player.
Cody Cropper and Carl McFadzean.
Yeah.
Yeah, wankers, both of them. Yeah.
But I mean, you could be that, and then you could be me trying to be the optimist, which is we have lost that many games, yet we're still fourth.
Yeah.
Are we fourth?
After Mansfield won
last
night.
night in the 88th minute.
Mate.
But
What was
we've
that
got a
doing
game
last
in
night,
hand.
Tony? Ask me. I was watching True Detective.
if we win our game,
Good show though, isn't it?
I was watching You
Really
on
good.
Netflix.
Me?
No, You. The programme's called You.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very good, by the way. Recommend it.
But if
Well,
we-
I've only watched 3
we
episodes.
win our
but-
game in hand, we're back up to second. You
Yeah.
know, Bury have played 2 more games, Mansfield have played 1 more game. And our 2 games in hand are over Newport away, which has now been confirmed for the Tuesday night, which is 10 days before we play them at home.
Oh, right, that was
We had
So-
that once before
That's
with
always
someone,
happens.
didn't we?
We have 2 games in hand over
Years ago.
Oldham at
Yeah,
home.
Hockey Stadium.
Yeah.
Oldham at home.
Oldham
yeah.
at home, which is on the 29th of Jan, and then we got Newport away, which isn't... You'd expect 4 points.
It's not an
out of
ideal
2, but
place to go on a Tuesday night, is it? Or
no,
the way
it's
down
not.
It's
But
not
you
an ideal
know,
place to go any time. To be
there.
honest.
Anytime.
Newport
Wales
shut
from
down.
start.
Newport are now...
At least they're not charging on the bridge anymore.
Well, unless you went to the original
Yeah, well, yeah.
fixture,
Lost your mind,
then
quid
took
on.
away the charges the following
Good,
day.
they
So.
deserved it.
It's £5 I'm not getting back.
Not much as £5.
About £5.30 I think it was.
Good grief.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't know what the problem is. If we did, then
We wouldn't be
we'd fix
sitting
it,
here in the
obviously.
shed on a Wednesday
Yeah.
night, Tony.
Precisely. So I have faith in Mr. Tisdale to sort that out, and I'm sure the players will. They're not stupid. They'll know that they've done these things, but they'll also know that they're still fourth with the games in hand. How long ago was it we were saying drive over the points on the board? Yeah,
remember
fuck that. No, we want
That's when we
games
were-
in hand. That's what you want.
It's
That's
a
the
typical.
future.
It's a typical reaction of a team with the games in hand, as
Yeah.
opposed to
Oh,
those
yeah.
who have
Yeah.
games over the
Man,
others.
I
Yeah.
came in hand.
Well, talking
Yeah,
of Bury,
don't worry about
Ryan Lowe is actually I don't know if he's a favourite, but he's in high contention to take the Luton job.
Is he really?
Ryan Lowe.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster.
He's-
God, that
chance.
long,
He's in the
going there,
mix
mate.
for the
No
for the
chance.
Luton job. So
That would be an absolute disaster. Well, I suppose he has left the north because he came and played for us, but
Well, I
Yeah,
wonder
but did he
if-
move down, or was he one of
I
those?
thought one of
I think he
his
was
big
one of the
things-
sort of
train
in the morning,
lads, wasn't he?
I
Yeah.
thought one of his big things about coming here was that he was really homesick and he couldn't come down here. Was that not what they were punting about when he left?
Ah,
That he
yeah.
couldn't
That and
adapt?
he hated Carl.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. I mean,
No,
it's
no.
not doubt that for him.
2 Scousers who don't get on.
Yeah, I went into the
Who'd
office
have
on
known?
Monday and like they'd all been at Sunderland. Blokes
Yeah.
I work with are all 3 of them were Luton season ticket holders, so they'd all been up in Sunderland. So I'll be honest with you, right? Me and work have fallen out, right? So let's just be blunt there.
he's actually favourite.
Okay.
As we
really?
speak now, he's 1-6 on.
Yes, I walked into the office and one of them goes, "Oh, your blokes have all left, haven't they?" I said, "Oh, have they?" Like, he goes, "Yeah, all your loan players have all gone back. Every one of them." I said, "One of them has." Yeah, I said, "Only one." But you just think, and he goes, No, they've all gone back. I said, "Oh yeah, I suppose they have." You just think, and that's just a blind,
Well, that's
because
like
it's
having
Milton
that
Keynes.
conversation when you're in an away game and you're in the pub and one of their fans comes up to you with that look on his face and you think, we're going to have that conversation, aren't we?
Who did
We
you
are
use
going
to
to have that
support?
conversation. So do you get your tickets for away games free as well as all your home tickets? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so that's what
I
it
like
said.
to educate and annoy. That's the way
Do
to
you
go.
both very well.
Yes,
So my
indeed.
reply was, "Show us that video of your man thumping his chest and saying how great you were again, if you don't mind."
I'm here forever. Oh, hold on.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
as we
lost last night, didn't they?
As
Getting
we
your
speak on,
manager of the month.
As we
Yeah.
speak on Wednesday
Trophy
night.
in your
Manager
Stoke
of the
kit.
month. And then they had his stock kit. Did you see that?
Yeah.
How funny was that?
I couldn't believe it.
I'll tell you what, I'll just rub it in. That little bit more.
It was like just driving back down the M1 with petrol
brilliant.
hanging out the back of your car and just lighting it all the way up there.
That was just
Stopping at junction 11 and torching it and then driving back home again.
I mean, even if he'd had just a jumper on, but I still shot.
But you would have thought, even the PR bloke. I mean, because Robbie Nielsen got Manager of the Month in the SPFL, and then he came down to
That's
Dundee.
not a difficult task to do.
But then they awarded it to him down here, didn't they?
That's got to be the longest ever Manager of the Month curse, hasn't it? Year and a half.
But you would have thought the PR. I mean, I know it's not Stokes, really, it's not their problem, but you would have thought that the media manager would have said, "Look, mate, for your own benefit, take your jacket
Now,
off."
one thing I do remember from playing in the Championship and the very rare occasions we played Premiership teams is that as far as people in the teams in the Championship and the Premiership are concerned, anything below them doesn't exist. There is no. It's just the Championship and the Premiership, and you've got to be in one or the other. It's as simple as that. They really don't.
It was funny though, and then they lost last night, didn't they?
Yeah. Something like 3 goals in something like 10 minutes or something mental.
Well, this is what
like
normally
70 odd
happens to
minutes.
their season, isn't it? They're a little bit like Wickham in that
Stoke.
respect, but
I ain't keen on Stoke.
Stoke.
Why are we talking about
What?
Stoke?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
what
So I
about
thought we were talking about
Luton?
Luton again.
Anyway,
No,
Got a fish to fry.
or Luton, to be
That's
honest.
the second
So,
time I've said that. It's going to go a new catchphrase.
so I think that's
hold on, what's the
I
one
think-
you're not allowed to use because it doesn't make any sense? Begs the question.
Begs the question.
Begs the question. Still don't
So
understand
I think that's Barry done, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, just have a quick look here. I've got. Oh, that was it from the concrete roundabout. Someone said in the thread called "shit defending" or something like that.
Pathetic defending. What does it
McGrandle should simply not be playing right back. Why Hancock's isn't given a chance, I don't know.
Was a left back.
He's a left back for a start. McGrandle's didn't start at right back. He came off George Williams.
And also,
And-
as a point of order, Tiz doesn't call the players who play out wide as defenders. He'll call them midfielders.
yeah.
So strictly speaking,
Well, they are.
he's not playing
They are
right back at all.
Yeah.
They don't have a right back.
When I read that, I thought because we spoke previously about knee-jerk reactions from fans and getting on their keyboards 5 minutes after the final whistle, but that one did make me laugh because Hancock's is not. He's played that one game and he wasn't very good. And who are you going to put him in place of? You can't put him in place.
I think he must have joined because he came from Macclesfield,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
he?
right.
So he came from
Who did?
conference. Mitch Hancock's.
Oh,
He's actually a very nice bloke. I had a card from a Macclesfield fan who was a mascot for
Was he
him.
heartbroken?
He actually was.
Good.
He was a mascot with him, and every time he chose Mitch Hancock's, and every time he was mascot for Macclesfield and he chose Hancock's, Hancock scored every time. So he sent us a card and I sent it back to. Anyway, besides the point, I think he would have signed here, not knowing who it would have been, but where do you play left wing back, left mid, that role? And he's looked here and he's seen that Louis there. I'm not saying that Mitch Hancock isn't good enough because I think he is. I think he's quite a good player actually, from what I've seen of him. But it's like coming into a side where you've got bloody Paul Scholes in midfield, and it's like, well, I'm not good. I'm not saying I was not as good as him, but he's there. That's his position, and I think he's there knowing that Louis is 34.
Yeah,
he's not going to be around forever. So he's going to have to step in at some point. And I think
that's what Adam Chickson. That's what Adam Chickson thought.
I'd be
wasn't
surprised if it's
So-
not.
Adam Chickson thought I'm the new
I
young
think
lad.
I think Hancock has the ability to step in when needed, and I think he does it very well. But I think for him to say that I don't know about the McGrandle shout.
I like
that's a bit-
McCrandles.
I think he's brilliant.
I think he's a good
I think it's
player.
hilarious that him and Lewington wear the same size shirt. There you
XL?
go.
I
Yeah,
think XL.
no, large, both large.
I know he's gone down.
Because
Because
Lano gave me.
Sorry, Lou.
Lano gave
Actually,
me.
that's good that he's gone down a size.
He gave me their shirts
Still
to
gonna hit
print, and I had Louis, which was a large, and McGrandle's like, "This is right."
He must-
I thought
he must float around in
McGrandle's
that.
going to be a medium.
He
I thought
doesn't
at
look-
least.
He's long.
And he said he likes them baggy, and obviously Louis likes them a bit snug. But yeah, no, they've got the same size shirt.
bit snug. I
Oh, yeah.
like
Can
that.
I tell you something, Sam? See, when you're in a hole, you really got to stop.
Yeah, I was going to
digging
say.
out.
Snug.
Or at least start digging
snug.
upwards.
No, snug is no.
So that's Barry done.
Right,
I
we're
think
done with
that's
Barry.
done.
What was it about Tony Hawkins?
All right, so let's have a word with Toby then.
Right,
Did you have a question or two for
I've got
Toby?
lots of
Avery?
questions for Tony.
Go on then. You start off, John. Then go on, man.
Are you aware of the forums? Do you read them?
No, I don't.
You don't read them at all?
No. To be honest, I get enough crap from the people I surround myself with. I don't need to be told that I'm useless by other people.
I don't think you've ever had a thread on there, to be quite honest.
It's actually the first time I've ever seen a post about him last
Did
night.
you Google them on there to see if
No, it was about the training ground. You know, the thread that comes up once every 6 months.
Oh yeah, you got some praise, didn't you?
Wow.
Was it praise?
Who? Me?
No, Toby.
Not quite.
No,
No.
right.
They said this is where we should now have an active local journalist to go and grab some quotes from MK Dons, but instead he'll probably concentrate on gifs and try to be funny. When I thought to that was a bit harsh because you've never tried to be funny.
I've never tried to be funny.
So I thought that was a bit much. It's only
my typos.
It's not really your responsibility as such. I mean, I suppose it is a question you could pose, but it's about the football.
And it was one that I did pose.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard about this
It was
conversation.
on Twitter that someone said you'd done really well. It must, because someone did say, he's.
Oh, I think somebody said, oh, thanks for finding it out. I was like,
put up their answer.
Yeah, it's sort of my job.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. So
what else did I say? I can't remember what I was going to ask for.
You also had things that you can't say.
Oh yeah, have you ever? You must have a load of stuff that you know, but you can't see. You must see people saying stuff and think, "Oh, I'm so desperate to tell you what's."
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. There are things that you sort of think. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to if I scratch their back, they'll scratch mine.
Yes.
And yeah, there are some things that you think, okay, I'm going to have to sit on this at least until it's official and announced before I can say anything. But yeah, I mean, there are things that unfortunately we have to sit on.
This is my last question.
Mm-hmm.
When we did this before, like years ago, we had, shall we call him, a well-known local sports broadcaster on, and we were just chatting, and he said that he asked Martin Allen a question that he thought was perfectly all right. It was a perfectly all right question, and Martin Allen and he answered it quite politely, and answered all the points. And as soon as he pressed stop, Martin Allen goes, "Don't you ever fucking ask me anything like that again." And said he was like an appalling, like he was just a dreadful man when he wasn't on air. Have you ever had anything like that from anyone you've ever dealt with? Well, first of all, tell us which managers it is that you've had to deal with.
I've dealt with Carl Robinson, Robbie Nielsen, that other guy, Keith Millen, and now Paul Tisdale. And I think it's that other guy who was the most.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to specifically ask you about him because I thought
I wouldn't.
No, and I'll tell you for why. Because I know for a fact that Carl Robinson had media training because he told us once that he'd had it, and I'm assuming that the rest of them have had. But the way that I can't even remember his name now. We'll just call him that other guy.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious.
Little fella.
It was pretty obvious.
This will win me so many brownie points for referring to him as that other guy, by the way.
Well, getting back to what we're saying, it was so obvious that he had never had any actual media training because, like, you're thinking, mate, you're talking, the way I am, and I'm just a bloke with a
favourite quote, haven't you?
I've got so many favourite quotes. He's got legs was one of it. It was a great description of how good a player was. He's got legs.
Andy.
Yeah.
CZ top fan.
Having a go at a referee for not knowing who Chuck Sanike was and advising him to look him up on YouTube. That was a good one. Sometimes you've got to lose games to win games. This was when he was at the height of his six-game losing streak, and that was when he pulled me into his office as well to ask why I wasn't writing nice things about him.
Really? So he's the one then. I'll be honest with you up front. I was hoping you were going to slag Robbie Nielsen off right into the ground.
No, Robbie never said anything. I mean, Robbie was punctual, so he'd show up.
Always on time. I know.
Yeah, if he said the press conference was
no, we're like us Scottish people.
If he said the press conference
for 8 o'clock.
Well, that was it. If he said 9 o'clock, we'd be there at 9 o'clock. So we all had to be there at 5 knowing full well that he'd be on time. And yeah, I mean, I don't think he paid anything that anyone said about him or wrote about him any mind because
it's a good job, isn't it?
Irrelevant to him really. He would just go in, do his job.
He worked. That was literally how he worked.
Yeah.
He would come in. His focus was 100% on the team, the preparation, and everything that goes with it. But he had no interest whatsoever in any of the superfluous stuff.
I'm surprised you've said that about him. Name we forget.
Completely 100% focused.
I thought he'd have been all right. He seemed like a nice bloke. I've never met him.
Oh, Robbie?
No, that other one.
Yeah.
I actually think he was a really nice bloke.
Oh, yeah, he's always a really nice bloke.
I think he was thrown into it. Have you ever managed a senior side before? No. Well, can you go and do
he was a mile of his depth, wasn't he?
The hardest job that we've ever had to have, which is go and dig us out. Who's got confidence? No, we didn't have much confidence in the team at the time, and you're asking someone with.
You could argue that to the slaughter.
And I do. It was, and I'm happy that he's found his feet now working for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's got there. I think he's under 15s or 16s or something. Which
he might get promotion. One of their blokes has left, did he?
Who's that?
Some chief scout they got on has left under a cloud.
What,
Arsenal. So he's moved up one.
Ooh.
It's under 17s now.
Ooh,
right,
that's
really?
big time. That's proper big time. So I got a question.
Go on then, Toby.
Similarly
Ask me.
to,
Go on, I'm ready.
what's the stupidest thing a manager, and probably Carl, has ever said, and you thought to yourself, I can't print that, but I could probably get away with that on a podcast?
He's got legs.
He's got legs. That's that.
He's
done,
got legs.
then. That's that done.
I mean, how daft a thing to say as a player's attributes. He's got 360 vision and he's got legs. Yeah, most players have got 2.
Yeah, exactly. And 360 vision, what then being an owl?
Well, yeah.
It goes right around.
Apparently, Callum Britton is an owl with 2 legs and can play in central mid.
And again, probably know the answer to this. I know who's probably made you wait the longest for a press morning, but how long did he make you wait?
In the morning?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, almost certainly Carl. I was actually thinking about this on the drive over. I had to drop my girlfriend at the time off at the train station. Her train was at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, right, well, I've got to meet Carl at 10 at the training ground. So I'm thinking, right, okay, it's got to be a quick, right, drop you off at the station, love. I've got to go. And she ran on Carl Robinson time as well. So inevitably, she missed the first train. So it was about 20 past 10 by the time we got to the station. So I'm thinking, oh, God, I've got to bust a gut and I'm going to have to explain myself as to why I've made Carl wait. As it was, I got there at about 10:30 and went upstairs and I met the press team and they were like, right, yeah, Carl's just taken training. I'm thinking, if he's just started to take training, we're not going to be done here until at least another couple of hours. So 1 o'clock was when I eventually
So he says
sat
10
down with Carl.
and he sat down at 1.
I've been sat at breakfast with him on a Thursday knowing that he's going to be sat there till about 9:45 because they're waiting downstairs for him. In fact, I've got a confession to make. I've actually come out of my out of the changing room before now, seeing you and Luke and everybody else stood there thinking they're going to ask me where Carl is, so I'm going to go back into my office, I think.
Yep. No, it's. I mean that whole thing. I mean, eventually they just. I think it was Ben at the time said, we might as well come up and wait in the canteen for him because at least then he can see how long he's making your wait.
Yeah.
And we used to get there at 9:15, and it wouldn't be 10:30 before.
He must have been your favourite manager that you've had to work with. He must have been, because he's like a nice guy, isn't he? Kind of whenever I've been smashing.
Yeah. I mean, I dealt with him for 6 years, so
yeah,
he was.
You got to form a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely,
and it's just going to be a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
He would, wouldn't he? He would ring you and Luke and anybody else if he thought you'd said something that you shouldn't.
Did he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he would do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He
more
refused to
so,
talk.
in fact, when he left.
Yeah.
What, after he'd gone?
Yeah, the first 3 months after he left, I got more phone calls from him then than I did in the 6 years that when he was
refused
the
to
manager.
talk to Luke for a few weeks.
Paul Dixon, it was.
Paul Dixon was it,
after at Sheffield
That was
United.
it, yeah. He refused to talk to
He
him.
said, "Are you feeling any pressure in your job?" And he just, he tried to laugh the whole thing off and try and humiliate him in front of a whole room of journalists. And I think we'd just fallen to about 17th in League One. You're thinking, you laugh about this now, Carl, but you probably are, mate. You probably are under a little bit of pressure here, to be honest.
And then he had him shot.
Did he come outside the back? Well, I've not heard them on the wireless, I must admit.
So, final question.
Go on.
And as a man who has visited a lot of football grounds, as you have, and as I have in changing rooms, and kit men have their favourites and likes, what's the worst press facilities,
And best.
seating, and the best, that you've been to, and describe it in great detail?
Well, I think the worst is probably not for facilities, but just the way we were treated when we got there was actually the game we went to Cardiff. I mean, there was a whole debacle with the pitch inspection.
It was horrendous.
I mean, the game shouldn't have been played. It chucked it down from when we left Milton Keynes all the way to Wales. And I was on the Severn Bridge when I got the phone call about 1 o'clock to say there's a pitch inspection. So, you bust a gut in that last half hour or so to get there. I got there, they told us, right, nothing's happening, there is no pitch inspection, when clearly there was a pitch inspection going on. None of the press team there even introduced themselves to us. There was no food on offer. There was no hot drinks on offer. At half-time, the hot water urn ran out of water, so there was no one around, so I had to go and fill it up with bottles of water that I basically had to pinch from behind a bar. And then afterwards, we were doing the post-match interviews, and as we were interviewing one of the players, and they said, you're going to have to, like midway through the interview, and this is on the radio at the time, midway through the interview, the guy comes over and goes, you're going to have to leave now because Russell Slade's waiting outside. Like, this is live on the radio, mate. No, you're going to have to go outside. And so midway through a live radio interview, we have to up sticks and leave and go out and interview him in the corridor. It was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So Cardiff is comfortably the worst.
That's a spectacular lack of professionalism.
Oh, it's
for a
awful.
club of that
It was
standard.
awful.
It really is.
Yeah, and I think they'd only just come down from the Premier League at the time. So
Welsh. Not
Yeah.
really.
Well,
yeah, but in terms of horrible places to go, Brentford's not a particularly nice place.
Oh, shit parking as well. You have to park on the street.
Mm.
And when you've got a van that's got a big MK
Every
Johns
time I've
logo
ever
on the
It's
gone
not
side.
ideal.
Not
Not
ideal.
ideal.
Anytime
at
I've
all.
ever gone there, we've parked in one of those streets. I'm doing the.
Yeah, well, I did as well. But as I say, in a van with a
But
big
yeah,
MK
I'm
Dodge
driving
logo
a
on
van
the
with
side.
MK Dons.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to walk past all the supporters bar as well, don't
Yeah, and they're not very nice. They don't like
No.
us. That's
Isn't
Carl's fault.
Mansfield? Mansfield have that really weird stand on the side of the pitch, isn't it? Where it's not a stand anymore. It's just full of advertising boards,
you? Yeah.
isn't it? And because I think Callum
It's
showed me
opposite
a
the main
video
stand. Yeah.
of the way they had to go up through, and basically it was a stand. It was a perfectly usable stand, which they've now just boarded up with advertising boards, and you got to climb in the stand, which is like full of crap or whatever's inside it, and then you climb up the ladder, and then you watch it from up there or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
where the camera
You used to
gantry
have
is.
to
Yeah.
climb a ladder at Barnet, didn't you? Before they.
You still, I think you still do it at Kenilworth Road as well.
Actually, you'd be surprised. There
Yeah,
are
yeah,
quite,
yeah, for the cameras you
particularly
do.
particularly for the lads that are filming the games. Some of those are treacherous heights and little
Exciting,
wooden
all that
platforms.
business.
Carlisle's one, I seem to think that there's like a fold-away ladder, and it looks like a proper
Yeah,
rickety
and we
little
went
bridge
there,
to
we
get
went
there
there
as
on a
well.
Tuesday night, and I just thought, do not fancy the lads' chances of surviving that tonight.
Have they got
Really
people that specifically film every game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Milton Keynes, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They
They're very
were-
good actually. It's very
We
good.
went to Newport Pagnell for a pre-season friendly that time. First game we were in the championship.
Yeah.
And they had a massive big telescopic arm
That's
thing.
it,
They were
yeah.
filming it from
That's the
outside
academy.
the ground.
The academy have got that
That's good,
telescopic
isn't it?
thing.
Telescopic
Because they've got
arms.
the grounds that they generally play at don't have
They
anywhere
want to
where
get
they
some
can.
drones, Tony. That's what they
Yeah.
want.
You might get the occasional scaffold. But,
Get a drone, Tony. Get themselves down to some airport.
crashing into
As they're
planes.
causing havoc for Cranfield.
And finally,
Go on.
I think I might have told you this before, Toes, but a few years ago I was going on the coach to games, and this bloke came up to me and he asked me twice, separate times, "Are you Toby Locke from the paper?" Now, to
You
be
don't
fair,
look alike.
to
Well,
be
you're
fair,
so-
Toby, with all due respect, you were a little bit tubbier
I was.
at the time.
Toby's a lot taller than you. I was quite surprised, as I've said.
And this bloke just wouldn't have it, and he actually said, "Are you sure you're not?"
I'm pretty
Toby.
sure, yeah, mate.
I
Let
said,
me
"Why-
check. Let me get
why-
my driving licence out and
why
check.
why would I be on the supporters coach for a start, going to games, and I've told you I'm not Toby Locke.
Have you
so
ever been mistaken for anyone, Sam, that you're not?
Yeah, I actually have. It's quite well known. Not a person, but a description. We had someone come in. I think you know about this as well.
Yeah.
Someone came in, and people said to me at work, I was speaking to a customer who came in, and the day after I wasn't in, and he came in and said, "Oh, I need to speak to I don't know his name, but he was bear in mind I was 23. He was 24 at the time, about a year ago. I went, oh, he's about 35, quite weighty, quite meaty."
I can see
And,
that.
and they went, "Sam, you went, that's the one."
Yeah.
Right, I've been described as a 35-year-old weighty
23.
person. I
23
was
at the
23, and well, the weighty bit, I suppose, is.
I'd certainly misprint their shirt. for that, mate.
Yeah,
It's not as bad as when my mum thought you were a woman.
Whoa!
When we were on the pitch at Swindon and you were filming me do
Oh,
my
for fuck's
beat the keeper
What
thing.
women does she know?
I don't know. I said.
Bearded ladies.
She said, "Is that?"
She watched The Greatest Showman one too many
I said,
times.
"That's
She go to
Oh,
that's
Sam.
because of the recording and the laugh.
You
Yeah,
laughed
I do
when
have a
you
bit of a
laughed.
high-pitched laugh,
yeah, that was.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We got any feedback corner? I've got one.
I've got a couple, but there's nothing spectacular.
I've
I've got loads, but I'm keeping it all for next week.
got a
Tony.
really nice one from Sid.
Sid Barrett, out
Sid-
of Pink Floyd.
At
He's dead, he is.
Twitter at Sid Tweets,
Go on.
SYD Tweets. It's honestly one of the best best podcast I have ever heard. Makes me pack up every week. I'm presuming that means it's supposed to say crack up
Is that
every
kind
week.
of some
maybe
kind
it's
of...
back
Yeah,
up.
honestly, one of the best podcasts I have ever heard. Makes me crack up every week. I look forward to another funny story in the change room. Thanks, Tony. Keep it up. Doesn't mention you.
Yeah,
I'm
Or
not funny,
Sam,
Tony.
So
wife's favourite.
yeah, housewives.
Housewives
favourite.
Well, I've got another couple of
You said that for next week.
Yeah.
ones to quickly put in.
Yeah, go
One
on.
from that David Saunders. He says, "Good listen again, chaps," and he's this. He's right about this. He said, given there was no football to talk about, we were very entertaining last week. Which we were.
Actually, when I listened to it, I thought that's gone quite
It's
well.
all in the editing, Tony. You know
exactly.
that.
It is true. The edit was perfect, mate.
David has also emailed in. He's part of the quiz later on.
Yes. Oh, yes. So we got 6 questions.
I did reply and say thanks, Paul. And he quite probably replied saying, "Well, I'm not Paul." I was like, "Oh, sorry."
That's when you know. That's when you know you're big time. So just write back any old name.
I've got a question from some bloke from the internet who'd like to know.
Sorry, David. Called someone another you when you got a bottle.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah.
Sorry, David Paul.
David Paul. We'll call him PD.
And I've got another one from a guy who's got some bizarre made-up name on the internet, and he's said he just has a feeling that Healy will return. What are you writing, Toby? You've got someone.
Toby's bang on that, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't?
No, I don't think so. I think that Cardiff will hold on.
That was a weird quote by
Warnock,
wasn't it?
Did you see it? What, after the game?
It's Brexit.
Not talking about the Brexit thing, are you?
He's starting on Saturday or something like that, wasn't it? He's starting on Saturday, but it could go to MK or something like that.
He based around and said that the only club he would return to is MK Dons. But
That's because that's the only club he can.
As I got out my car before you go in here, so they're trying to sign a bloke called Salah, S-A-L-A, from Nantes, is it?
Yeah.
Who's the third leading high...
God!
Sorry.
the third highest goal scorer in Ligue 1, or whatever you call it, in France. But they also want to sign Oumar Niasse from Everton for the rest of the season, who are 2 strikers. So, realistically...
You should try and sign that guy from Liverpool.
Got the other Salah.
Yeah, that's who we should try and sell.
So, realistically, is he...
Got a free hat in the ring, haven't you?
Is he going to get any more time, or is he going to go... I don't know.
Well, we know he can't go anywhere else.
He can't go anywhere else.
Unless,
can't he go anywhere else?
Can they sell him? I'm sure they can sell him.
He's got 2.5 years left in his contract, so yes, they could sell him. But
can they still play for 3
He
clubs
can't.
in the same
He can't
season?
play for 3 clubs
I
in
don't
one
know.
season.
Yeah.
You can only play
Can you
for
not?
2. No, you can only play for 2 clubs in one season.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where.
But when
I think
You can have a
there may be
pre-season
grey area.
agreement.
but
You
they
may
didn't pay for Leicester, that's why he could... Right.
could be something to do with his age as well, maybe that under
There isn't
23.
See, for me, and this
24
again...
then.
There is an under
24.
13. You can't.
Yeah.
I
turned 24
I
in
don't know
December.
anything at all, but for me, surely if he's going to get into players who can play in the Premier League and are that level, and no disrespect to Reece Healy, but obviously if he's played well for us and he's got 2.5 years left in his deal and he can send him back to us, potentially get a promotion on his CV, turn away with between 15 and 20 goals in League 2, that's only going to add value onto him as opposed to keeping him at Cardiff. He'll be limited game potential. I mean, I don't know how highly he rates him, but if you're signing a player for reported 18 million from France, you're signing Oumar Niasse on loan from Everton. That loan deal would have a thing saying he has to play a certain amount of games, I would imagine. I don't think you get the time, so surely you just want to send him back to us and add value.
I always was convinced that he was used as make weight, in the sense that Cardiff call him back and say, look, this is what we've got if you don't give us another striker. So Warnock says, well, okay, we'll have to play the kid then, if you're not going to back us and give us a new striker. So he goes out, gets 2 more in, but I don't know as to whether or not, I mean, if somebody comes in and bids 700,000 quid and says
parked in the car park. Did you not see that tweet?
I don't know. I saw it, but I don't know what his car looks like. I don't think there's anything in that, to be honest. I don't know.
His registration was Lees Healy. I'm from Cardiff. That's what he said. He's all squeezed up. Tiny writing it was.
Right, so we do the quiz.
Oh, I was going to talk about our signing and where.
Fucking hell! Yeah. Who I thought was a striker, and have thought for years that he's a striker.
It does make me laugh, and I'm trying to be careful with what I say. Some of the things that have been said about signing him have been
mainly from Walsall fans, by the way.
No, from our fans who have said he's too slow. He's not. He's this. He's played 125 times in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He's got 4 promotions from the Championship, and he's got 29 international caps. Yes, for Scotland, but they still count.
Yeah, well, do they? Do they really?
For me, I just think,
21s,
honestly, when I saw it, I think that's a very, very good signing.
Yeah, I like it. I think
he started as a right back. He's now more of a centre back, and I just don't see how you can consider it as even a remotely.
It's not a bad signing, but it's exactly a year ago since he signed for Rangers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he did astonishingly badly there. Like, us like appallingly badly there.
I think
His
people
first
are
game
judging him
was
on,
against them who we cannot mention.
judging him on his
He absolutely battered them. He was the weak link in that.
judging him on his age. I think.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
30. Well, he shares my birthday actually, in the 4th of Jan, but I think he just turned 33.
he's 33.
But he said he left Walsall for family reasons because he wanted to see his kids more and whatever. So I'd imagine
Where do his
is.
kids live? Still in Stratford.
I don't know where they. But I would imagine
he's got a previous in Wickham, hasn't he? And even if
And
his
Peterborough.
family was set up in
Peterborough.
Norwich as well, it's a
So
lot
I
closer than
think
Walsall is.
if
But
you let him settle, I mean, I don't know how long he was signed for because I think.
Is it a loan or is it a
no,
sign?
it's
It's a
permanent.
permanent.
It's actually I thought it was a loan.
No,
Oh,
no,
it's
no,
not.
no,
Well, I
because
do know
he
is-
left Walsall on Monday.
Yeah, he left for
Yeah,
family
yeah.
reasons because he came out and he publicly said that he doesn't see his kids as much as he wants
I'll
to.
be honest with you.
So I think
Like
Let's
how
hope it's
shit he
not
did
another
in
Matt
Scotland, like I said, there's nothing bad about that sign, and I can't see
if he
any
settles,
downside to that
in,
at all.
I think Tisdale makes a point, and you've probably seen as well, that I don't think he likes to disclose length of contracts or how long he signed someone for.
Do you want to
I
name him?
think if he
Because we've
settles, I
spoke
think
about
he-
him, no one's named him.
Russell Martin.
Oh, yeah, Russell Martin, yeah.
I think
striker.
he has the potential to be a very,
It's a
very
striker,
good,
isn't he? 200 quid's up front.
good
Big
player.
man, little
So-
man
Now,
combination.
I have a question that Toby might be able to answer. When we played Norwich, I'm sure it was Norwich in the
Checker
under
trade.
23
In the Checker
Oh,
trade
Checker
away.
God,
trade
yeah.
away,
Yeah.
and
Me and about 14 other people watched
yeah,
it.
I was there. BTA was playing, started that game. Now, would he have been up against Russell Martin at that time? And the reason I asked that is because at half time, we went into the change room and Richie was in charge. And the first thing he said, he went up to BTA and he went, "Are you fucking stupid? You are trying to nutmeg and go around a player who has got however many international caps. He's played hundreds of times
Could well
in
have been.
football. He's played in the Premiership. He's played everywhere, and you are trying to make him look a cunt, and it is not going to work. When will you learn that you can't do that against a player like that?" Now I'm hoping
Well,
he's
he's
still
a,
got that.
well, no, well,
If that was him, indeed.
he was a right back, and then he in the last couple of years has
And
gone
BJ
centre
was
back.
playing on the
They
left.
played. They
Absolutely.
played an absolutely massive side
Yeah,
as
he
well,
did.
didn't
Do
they?
you remember
Norwich.
they played as centre forward who? Because I think Finn Tapp scored that night, didn't
He
he?
did,
it was
yeah.
only-
One and
yeah,
only
yeah.
goal. Still, I think
So
it's
it
high
could
as a kite for about a
well have
week
been.
after.
And talking about of those who've been exited, Vigas Eatsma today has signed for a team in Vietnam.
Can you remember the
Vietnam!
name? Remember the name of the team? No.
It's
There's a video of him
no,
signing.
it's an
Oh, they got
abbreviation.
There's a
Surprised
video of
they
him
even
signing,
got
which
league.
looks
He's
like
gone to
some
Vietnam.
Factories Works canteen.
It's H-A...
It was proper like a school lunch
It's a,
school, wasn't it?
it's a club abbreviated to HAGL.
Is he the fella that just left?
Yeah,
recently?
the goalie.
The
Oh, he's
goalkeeper,
done well
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
So he's
Yeah,
gone
I
out and he's
understand.
playing his football in
He wasn't
Asia.
really
so-
Apparently
was
he's
it?
travelling as well, so it's just presumably when he says he's
Oh, he's
travelling.
like, my lad went round the world last year. And
yeah,
just
well maybe
like,
he's thinking that if I
rocked
go,
up somewhere.
I go here for 2 months, they say you're shit, I move on to
Well,
another
I did
country.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
he only needs to be there for one Saturday a week to sit on the bench, doesn't he? And then he can
Then you can go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And they probably
travel the rest of the
They
forest.
probably wouldn't even notice if he wasn't on the bench. Let's be honest, because we did.
When my son went to Vietnam,
Probably
he sent
was
us a
the only
video
blonde
of
person
him
on the bench.
firing machine guns at stuff. So maybe he's doing that when he's not a striker.
He could
That's
be.
not goalkeeping, rather.
Right, so where are we?
Well, I was going to talk about very briefly about Grimsby. We sold 35 as of today.
Come on.
Quick reminder: there's a £2 increase on the day, so just get your ticket before if you're going to go.
Is that a Tuesday
or-
night?
No, it's a Saturday. Saturday the
£30 many have we sold?
26th of Jan.
26th.
26th of Jan. I mean, I think a lot of people are kind of getting crew out of the way because it's one of those fan days which is cheaper, which is this weekend. Sold quite a few tickets now. It's actually looking quite good.
Is it looking up? It does pick up in the week before.
Yeah, Grimsby MK is Saturday 26th of Jan, 3 p.m. Adults 19 quid.
Something to look forward to it, Toby, all the way to
Concessions.
Grimsby on
Again.
Oh, I did it for the
Again.
FA Cup.
a
and
January
we went to the most
afternoon.
horrendous chip shop just around the corner from the ground where we were told of the tale of some fella who they knew as Crackhead Dodge. I mean, from the start, we knew we were in for a tale as
Jesus.
Crackhead Dodge and his two other dubious-looking mates were stood shouting, not at each other, but just like talking really loudly about what they'd got up to the night before, and it was horrifying, absolutely
It's
horrifying.
not a nice place. It's not pretty at all.
So that's probably why we sold 35. The travel was £23 on the day for a season ticket. It leaves at 10 a.m. Exeter is a week later, and we've sold double the amount of tickets for it. So
Not
It's
surprised.
going to be fire, that game.
So
Yeah, it's
I mean,
gonna
we
be
only sold. I mean, look, if you say we sold 61 so far, but it's still 3 weeks away, and that one will be a good one. I know this is not me trying to sell it because I don't think it needs to be sold, because I think it will be a very good game if you can get there. Me and Tony going, aren't we?
We are indeed.
I think we're driving down because we can't find any other mode of transport to get across. And Carlisle will hopefully be on sale later this week, if not early next week. So that's one.
You got to go drive to Carlisle, or do you get the train?
I'm getting the train.
Would you not contemplate flying? Would you generally not even
It's
look?
actually a really easy train journey.
It's non-stop.
Yeah, it's a
could
really
you,
easy train.
Could you not just get in at Birmingham or like an hour or from Stansted or Luton and just
It would
fly
take
up?
you as long to drive
drive
there.
to
You
get
might as well. You might as
and all
well. By the
that
time it
bollocks.
takes you to drive to
Yeah.
Stansted.
No, that's probably the easiest.
Or-
Crew and Carlisle just
Piece of
Okay.
cake.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have that option, mate.
So yeah, that's what we got at the moment. So
For as great as some people
Yeah.
think my job
I'll
is,
just
I
mention
have
that.
to go.
I'm not be honest, I don't think
Yeah, I have to
I
go to
don't think the
Grimsby.
Milton Citizens are going to stretch to
People in
flights.
Grimsby don't want to go to
Let's
Grimsby.
be honest.
Should we go move on to the quiz?
Quiz time. So what we're going
Quiz.
to do is this week we're going to change
So-
it slightly. So me and JT will be going up.
You will still be going against each other.
Each
And
other.
what we'll do is I'll ask Toby to maybe, I don't know, get your phone out or write or
Make a
something.
note of your
And after
answers.
every, like we do all the time, after every question, if Toby thinks he's got it, he'll write it on his phone and show me, and then I'll tell you two whether he's got it already or not, just to add the pressure.
Yeah.
No, I've got a sixth one this time in case one of you balls up and you don't get it and we had a draw again. But you got.
We don't have a draw on one.
No,
last week.
but last week because you got none of you got the first one, you could have had a draw because you had 4 left. But
Yeah.
instead, Tony just went into shit creek.
A
and he got 4,
tiebreaker,
yeah.
I
Oh,
believe
it's
is
a
it correct?
So the
Total
first one is
meltdown.
from David/Paul.
Oh, go on, Dave.
Which I thought was, it's quite a difficult one to be fair. Anyway, so 25th of November 1991.
91.
Before we start, this year, JT is 1-0 up.
Yeah, thanks. I think you might have mentioned that last week a couple of times. Yeah.
So 25th
91.
November 1991, which make him, what,
28, 20, 27, 28.
27.
See, these
91.
guessing, aren't you, when it comes to...
These are just a gamble.
What was that bloke we said last week? One of those two big defenders.
Too young, but
Swalesy, I'm saying.
I'm going to go Sean O'Hanlon then.
Yeah.
Joined on loan from Celtic in 2012.
It's...
I've got it. He drives a Q7. He ran a bloke over. He did. He reversed over someone when he signed for Portsmouth for...
2007.
Toby's got it.
It is a...
Toby's got it.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Not can I.
He was
I
a
can't.
blonde-headed fella. He's the one that scored that goal, and when he scored it, he went like that because it had just gone straight in. He'd, like as if it was a dart he'd done. John Paul McGovern. Not him. I'm surprised.
No, I'm not. I don't say yes or no until you've both given
Right.
me an answer.
I know. I can see him. I'm looking at him. I was in the.
You're gonna do your number trick again. See if
No,
that
you're not
works.
counting numbers. We're not
I
having
can't
that.
remember what number I gave him. That might help actually if I can remember his number.
Oh, David, you've got.
I know
one.
who it is, but carry on.
Right.
Is it not John Paul McGovern?
No, it's not. Sorry.
I don't get involved with sales. To be honest.
One of David's facts was that he played right midfield.
In fact,
When are we talking? When did he sign again? 2007.
He joined on loan in 2012.
2012.
From
From them
Celtic.
who we don't mention.
Do you know what? I'm not going to remember his
Since
name.
2027, joined on loan from Celtic 2012. He played right mid.
And he ran someone over in a Q7.
He ran Sanger over.
I mean, that
The
is
day
your own.
after he passed his test, by the way.
Oh,
That's
well.
your own one.
Well, at least he passed
Do
his
you
test.
want
first.
another one?
Yeah.
He only played 5 times for us.
Did he
Now,
really?
I don't know whether
I'd
he's.
have said he never played at all.
I don't know whether he scored or not, because this is what I'm going by, David. Actually, I might even have a
Oh, do you know what? I'm not going to remember his name, am I?
Eh,
Oh, yes, I've got it.
What?
I've got it.
What?
Scott.
Scott.
Are you...
I don't know who it is.
No, it's
No
not
idea.
Scott. It's not Scott.
Is it not Scott someone? Or something Scott?
No, it's not.
No,
I've just, I've
He was a Scot.
if that helps.
He's not running anyone over.
I've just looked up quickly the facts, and everything David said so far is bang on. So, last one was that his most recent club was Clyde.
I'm astounded that he even played, to be honest.
I'm astounded that you got it off the second fact.
He's one of the longest running jokes, I think, in the Don's media circle.
I
Really?
don't know who
Yeah.
he is. I've no idea
Yeah.
who it is.
It's not Scott. It's definitely not Scott.
It's not Scott. Let it
Well
go.
done,
It's not
David.
Scott.
You've stumped us there.
Yeah, no, I'll give up. I don't know.
Paul Slane.
See, you've said a name I have no absolutely
Who's
no
the-
idea.
No, exactly.
Who's the Scottish lad called Scott that came briefly and...
It's not Scott.
It's not him, Tony.
Paul
Well,
Slade.
Toby got it
Fucking
after the
hell,
second-
That is a difficult one because
That's a niche
Yeah.
market, that.
So like I said,
Toby's winning.
that's why I got a sick one just in case.
Toby's
I
winning.
say, well done, David Saunders, because that's a cracker.
Oh, he's called Paul.
He's up on the wall in one of the rooms in Woughton, and we actually had to go and have I put it out on Twitter to say, who the hell is this
He
guy?
played for Scotland under 17s 5 times. According to this.
I did
Anyway,
as
he
well.
only played
I
once for
could, I
Surrey.
could play for the others.
Right, next one.
Yeah.
30,
Is this one of yours?
These are the rest of mine.
Your ones are always easy.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell you anything otherwise.
Shut up, you tart.
13th of May, 1992.
Oh.
Makes him
13th of May,
26.
26.
26.
26.
Well, if it's 26, it's got to be Alex Gilby.
I'm going that guy that's just left, that's gone back up to Dundee. What was his name? He was 26.
He was
wasn't
26 as
Nesbitt,
well,
He
yeah.
was 26.
So is Luke Chadwick. Luke Chadwick's
He's
26.
26.
You're not even going to go for a punt or write down yet.
No, I can't.
If you
gamble
get
on
it by the
birthdays.
birthdays, it's a guess.
86 appearances and 3 goals.
Oh, Tony. It is Anthony Kay. Come on, hurry up. Staring into space like a clown you are. Come on.
Arms folded, tongue out, just to give people an idea of what's going
Gary
on.
McKenzie. He scored more goals than that.
He's not 26, is he?
He first came to us on loan before joining on a permanent deal.
Well, that's not helping. I got to
could
be
be.
honest. Oh, that's not helping. He's 26.
1992, that makes him 26, yeah. 13th of May. 86 appearances, 3 goals, and he first came on loan, and then he signed on a permanent deal that following summer.
Dale Jennings. Didn't play 86.
Nah, there's no way.
No.
he'd
And
play
never
that
scored,
games
did
in.
he? Don't think he scored.
No.
He joined from Crawley. Toby's
Joe
phone
Walsh.
is out
Joe Walsh.
very quickly.
I don't know. If he's got it right, I don't know who it is.
Yep. Tone, well done.
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Come on! Oh, the pressure's on, Tony.
Last one was he started at Swansea. He didn't actually make any appearances, but he started at Swansea. 1-0 Tone. Well done. No whitewash for you this week.
We're in. We're in.
Right,
I would
next
have
one.
said he played guitar in the Eagles. That's what we'd have done.
15th of March, 1989.
Oh, he's an old fella, Tony.
It's
A
touching
pensioner.
30.
So it makes him, what, 29?
Right, okay, so
And 29.
29.
Bragging.
29.
No, apparently we're weighty 35-year-old, but whatever. Don't know what that is.
I'll take weighty 35.
29. I'm going to say
29, I don't know. It's just random.
Mark Randall.
Not even a punt, no.
Nah.
100 apps, 33 goals.
33 goals.
1 in 3.
Ooh, 29.
It's not quite an Ali Gerber return, but it's still a good one.
How many goals did you say?
33.
It's 29.
33, that's a good return, that is. That's
Sam
a
Baldock.
strike, isn't it? That's who
No,
I
he
was
played
just
a
about
lot
to
more
say.
times than that. Shit.
No, I'd say Sam Baldock.
Got it.
That is a cracking shout.
Next 3 were he represented England under 20s twice.
I wouldn't know,
He
no.
recently got promoted to the Premier League with the team and he currently plays for Reading.
Is that where he is? I wouldn't know.
He's at Reading now. He signed for
He
Brighton.
signed in
Didn't
the-
really get any
signed in
minutes
the
now. He's
summer,
at
then.
Reading. So now, if you want to
That's
win, you've got to get all 3.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
So 1st of July 1990 should make him 28.
28. Sean O'Hanlon.
It's Wales, that is.
Started at QPR.
Jet. Scored no goals. Was shit.
Does he count as making one appearance?
I actually printed 2 of his shirts for fans as well.
Okay, so what was the
1st of July 1990 started at QPR.
started at QPR and he's 29, 28.
8.
Started at QPR. Do you know how I know it is? Go on next.
50 appearances, 11 goals.
Oh, Tony, 11 goals. It's a midfielder, Tony. It is Gallen. Kevin Gallen.
Jeez,
No
he's
way
older
he's
than me.
28.
He's not, Tony.
He is.
He's just on a hard paper.
He fucking, I tell you, that boy can drink. He looks older than he is, that's for sure. Started at QPR. I know this. I should know this.
Just don't believe you when you say that anymore.
No.
You say that all the time.
50 goals, how many?
11.
11
apps,
goals.
11
Yeah.
goals.
Started
That's
at
1 in 5
QPR and
as
he's
well, so-
29.
8.
28. He's still playing, man.
It's not Jamie Mackey because he's too old.
No, that's it. No,
He
you
started
give me it.
it.
You give me it now.
Milton
Sorry.
Keynes anyway.
Can't talk out loud.
Oh no, we never made us the same, did we? Played for Wimbledon,
Right.
didn't he?
Next one.
Yeah.
That was over 3 loan spells, but he never actually signed permanently.
Oh.
Angelo Balanta.
Bloody hell, Tony, you're ripping.
Told you I'd do it!
Tony Hawkins.
Right,
you're
so
blind,
now we're
aren't you?
going for credit now.
Tony, you have just cuffed me this week.
Hey.
And I've whitewashed it.
Have some of that, son.
I might do an overall, but I might do an aggregate score as well. So it's always worth doing the rest of them.
You must have got that, Tobes, on that one.
The phone was
Three
up
loans.
very quickly.
Yeah.
So next one, 13th September 1982.
Oh.
So he's a bit of an old boy.
Alan Smith.
I don't know.
No,
I'm terrible at
86 appearances, 16 goals.
Oh, that's another good return. What's that, 1 in 5 again?
Now, old you see is quite old then.
Not 86, that makes him 36.
Oh, yeah. 36.
That
How
was,
many
that was
goals?
how old Diddy Hammam was when he signed, wasn't it?
How many goals has he scored?
Stones.
86 appearances, 16 goals.
And how old is he?
He's 36.
16 goals.
16 goals, 86
That's
apps.
a lot of goals in that.
Oh, 30.
36.
He's 36.
Six. 16
How old?
goals.
How old?
36.
What year was he born? Is that a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, thinking striker.
John Paul McGovern. Ah, Coney.
Mark Wright.
Started at West Brom.
No one starts at West Brom, do they? Let's be honest. Shit place to start. Started at West Brom, Tony. Come on, you've cuffed me this week.
No.
No.
He assisted and scored in the 2-1 win against Bradford City to confirm us as League Two champions.
Oh, was that one as well?
Yeah, so was that. It was a great day.
Quite like that
Fantastic
fact.
day.
So
Might
he
have had a couple of
scored
beers, though.
and assisted in the 2-1 win against Bradford
In
to
Rotherham as well. and
confirm us as League Two champions.
Jude scored, didn't he? Jude Sterling scored. Was it Jude's not Jude? He couldn't score any goals in, could he?
He'd be about that age.
He is about that age. I'll say
He surely
Jude
wouldn't have got
Sterling.
that
No,
many
he
goals.
got.
He
He had
got,
a goal that day, didn't he?
All right then. So I'm going to go. Aaron Wilbur.
Oh, it's bloody
No,
Alan Navarro.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, he started at West Brom,
And
didn't he?
last one is that Leicester City signed him from us on a free transfer. Toby's got it, he reckons.
Leicester City on a free.
Bloody hell.
So that would have been after Ince. So Martin Allen would have signed him. Martin Allen would
Yeah,
have signed
Toby's
him.
got it.
Martin Allen signed him,
Toby's got it.
and then he played under Ince.
Signed by Leicester on a free transfer.
Oh,
No, Skeletor!
fucking hell!
Lloyd Dyer.
Come on, I'll get it. I said Skeletor before he said Lloyd Dyer.
Yeah, but you
So I
think
don't know who Skeletor
fucking
is.
Lloyd Dyer, Tony.
Skeletor!
Yeah, not saying Skeletor. You can't say Skeletor. Someone called him that, didn't
Last
he?
one.
Really
He
upset
looks like
about it.
Skeletor. That's why.
Oh, Tony, I got one. Oh, I've pulled it back.
Right.
Oh,
There's still time to turn this round to 4-3, isn't there?
Players,
9th
Lloyd
of
Dyer.
June 1979.
Oh, for
Alan
God's
Smith.
sake.
So he's 39.
Aaron Wilbraham.
He played for 2 Premier League clubs before he joined us. He didn't come directly from that club to us, but he had previously played for 2 Premier League clubs before joining us. I would say them, but it might be a bit away.
I know that, this is that bloke.
Well, yeah,
It is.
not
Yeah.
wrong, Tony. I
The
got
footballer,
it.
little
It's
fella.
him, innit?
Bald.
Alan Navarro.
No, go on.
No.
I want.
I'll give it to
phone is out.
Oh, I'll see it. Oh.
This guy, the guy I'm thinking of, played for too many Premier League clubs, but
Okay. 50 appearances, 4 goals.
oh, definitely not.
Four goals.
I think I know it is, and I can see him, but I can't remember his name. I think it might be Alan.
Oh, I don't know. I've no idea. These are hard. It's getting all the easy ones out.
Do you know, I get a player stuck in my head whose name I can't think of, and it stops me thinking of any others. Go on.
We signed him from an Italian side in 2004, and I looked up this Italian side, and right now they're like
goodness me.
Serie C or Serie D or some bollocks.
I still think it's the bloke I'm thinking of. You know.
No, I don't know.
2004.
Is it Wade Small? Said Wade Small, Tony.
I'm not answering.
Was that the fifth one?
No,
He scored more goals.
Is that the
than
fifth?
Wade
Is that the
Small.
fifth?
no, you
question?
got one more after this, and this one might make it a little bit.
That's
easier.
not Wade then. I keep my mug in my kitchen then, don't I?
Yeah.
Got a Wade Small mug up there.
Now go on.
Favourite
Go on
ever Don's
next.
playing.
It's actually a title of a podcast. That one. Or
That's a Wade Small mug.
Are we going on to the last one?
There
Yeah.
we got that.
You represented Australia at every level from
Nicky
under 17s.
Rizzo.
Boom! Nicky Rizzo.
Pulled
it back. 3-2.
Which 2 Premiership?
Liverpool, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I'm
I
astonished.
didn't know that
he
Palace.
played for
He
Liverpool.
didn't. He was in their squad. Never actually played for them. But he
Oh,
played,
you won then, Tony.
And then
3-2.
Palace. He played quite a few games.
Was
for
it?
Palace.
Is it 3-2?
3-2. That's it. That's all I've got. So well done, Tone.
Well done.
1 all overall, but JT's still winning.
Almost did an MK Dons there. And
JT's still winning.
Throw
on
away
goal
the
difference.
head. There was plenty of time left,
mate. Nicky Rizzo.
come on, big me up there like you fucking ripped me
No,
apart last
because
week.
you're still 1-0. He's still technically winning because he's got the aggregate over you.
Although it's 1-1, he's still winning. How's that
My
work?
goal difference
Away
is higher
goals.
than yours.
Your goal difference.
It's
Oh, we've
six-
got a goal difference.
six,
You've introduced a
three.
goal difference now. That's new. I thought we were just going
Well
on
done,
to-
Tony. Well done.
Yeah,
It's
fuck
quite
you.
impressive.
I'll tell you what, fuck you.
Trying
Fuck
to
you.
go from a
Fuck
4-0
you.
whitewash to a
Fuck-
3-2.
Fuck you. Fuck Cody Cropper and fuck Karma Fanzine.
Where did cut all that swearing out of that bloke
Fuck
on that,
that.
that website and be going, mate.
Well done, Tone. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Twat.
Cheers.
You done well, Tony. I'll give you that.
Right then, crew. Predictions.
2-0 me.
Just so we know, Crew are currently...
They got it down, aren't they?
14th in the table.
Okay,
Um,
that's pretty much about right. Crew are 14th.
Someone's written his piece already, yeah?
Yes, he has. They've never won at Stadium MK.
Haven't they really?
But-
That's a good start.
In which case, I'm going to upgrade from a 2-1 to a 2-0 win then.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2-0.
I don't even know why we are.
Actually, I don't know why
It's
we're
always
asking
2-0.
anymore. Tobes?
2's about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think just get a win under the belt.
Bit of a backlash.
Yeah.
Bit of a backlash.
Could be
of
6-0. Done that before.
Just as a reminder, though, if you do want to come, it will be later now because you go up on Saturday.
No,
It's
I'm
only
putting them up now on Friday night.
Oh, right.
Maybe
Well,
even tomorrow.
it's
Thursday
10
night.
quid.
Ooh.
If you want to bring mates, it's 10 quid for
10
adults,
quid,
and
Tony, that's a lot of money.
under
that.
18s are £1.
A pound?
So-
Nah. Not spending a pound.
Nah,
Chance.
might as well.
No, yeah,
I got
Might
a
as
season ticket.
Might as well
anyway.
keep giving away all those free kids tickets,
Yeah,
mightn't we?
get it for nothing anyway.
Yeah,
Tell
exactly.
them Mountain Keens you get in for free.
So we're still looking for guests. We haven't had a single email yet requesting a guest spot.
Don't
So-
do that. Don't break this like that.
You'll
breaking
be
his
on,
law.
son. You'll be on. You keep hanging in there.
You'll
We'll-
be on next week,
Yeah,
mate.
you'll do the pre-season
sure.
special in July.
Hey, we'll have
Um,
you next week. I've sent
We'll
them
have you
an
next
email
week.
anyway.
Yeah, we'll have you next week. So if you would like to be a guest, or you've got that jingle that's just stuck in your head and you want to send it to us, or anything you want to say,
Any more
questions you want
quiz
to ask.
questions to me?
What's your email address?
sam.swanton@hotmail.co.uk.
Like anything else, let me
And
just
for
check on my
anything
phone.
else, mkdonsradioshow@gmail.com. Send them through because it's sort of stopped coming through now. We know a lot of you listen, but we want to hear your shit so that we can mock you for being an idiot.
Invalidate ourselves for doing this.
Yeah.
Make ourselves feel
And just
better.
to be aware, if you do come on as a guest, we will make a point of disagreeing with everything you say.
So
So
I'm just saying, if you're on next week, Chief, be prepared for us to rip the piss
Yeah.
out of you.
yeah,
So
then
don't
we
come
won't-
on
we
here and
won't.
then get all upset like you did with that quiz.
Oh, well,
Just
he
saying.
didn't win.
He didn't
because,
win, Tony.
you know,
You did the wrong answer, Tony.
You had a fit about
You've
him
got to be
being
in
right.
it,
So
in it to win it, Tony.
exactly, yeah. And yeah, just missed the hat slightly there. But there you go. Such is life. Right, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
See,
We're done.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Toby.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
And we'll see you all next week.
Next
We
week we'll have scored 6 goals against a shit.
6 goals.
Bye.
Bye.